طيب بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وبه نستعين على أمور الدنيا والدين وصلى الله وسلم على سيدنا محمد خاتم النبيين وآله وصحبه أجمعين ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. The last ayat we left off on was what? Does anyone remember? What was the last ayat we did? We did after ayat, of course we went back to cover it again because some of you didn't fully understand it properly. So what's the last ayat we did after ayat al-Kursi?
Is this reading?
No. Sorry, nobody remembers. Anybody remember? Who has notes? Nobody has notes? If you have notes, you will know what was the last ayat we did. Huh? That's exactly correct. So today we start at ayat number 257. Ayat al-Kursi is what number? So La ilaha illallah is what number? So we start at what?
Oh, we're down.
We did 250. We're at 257.
257?
Okay? Toya.
I'm just kidding. I don't know how to.
All right, is everybody paying attention? We're on ayat 257. الله ولي الذين آمنوا يخرجهم من الظلمات إلى النور والذين كفروا أولياؤهم الطاغوت يخرجونهم من النور إلى الظلمات أولئك أصحاب النار هم فيها خالدون. We understand? We clear? طيب. So this ayah, Allahu waliyyu ladina amanu, it comes after Ayat al-Kursi, correct? It comes after Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He describes Himself in Ayat al-Kursi. Allah tells us, how many different things can we say that Allah told us in Ayat al-Kursi? All right, tell me what did Allah tell us in Ayat al-Kursi? Tell me what Allah tells us about Himself in Ayat al-Kursi. Tell me some things He tells us. You all can work together and tell me. What does Allah tell us about Himself in Ayat al-Kursi? Starting off, He says what? No, He doesn't. He said there's nothing that deserves to be worshipped except for Him. Right? What is worship? Can you halfway love Allah and say that you worship Him? Can you halfway submit to Allah and say you worship Him? Allah has to be your ma'bood. What you focus on in your worship must be Allah alone. Do we understand that? Yes. What does Allah say after that? What does He tell us about Himself? He's Al-Hayyu Al-Qayyum, right? That He is the one who is ever living, has never not lived, and will always live. Right? When we know that Allah is Al-Hayyu, how do we worship Allah by knowing He's Al-Hayy? How does that affect us? Does it affect us?
Yes.
How?
So you know that He's always aware. We know He's always watching.
Al-Hayy. How does it affect us? Just because He's ever living doesn't mean He's watching you all the way, right? What about Al-Qayyum? Self-subsisting, doesn't need anyone's help, but that means that we need His help, right? Then, what does Allah tell us about Himself? Abdul Rahman, what does He tell us next? Huh? You don't know what Allah says next in Ayatul Kursi? Come sit right here, please. What does Allah say next, Abdul Ghani? Come sit right here, please. Took too long. Shouldn't have to take long. This should be like water. What does Allah say next, Abdul Nasir? What does that mean? Which one is sleep and which one is slumber? What is the difference between Noam and Sinna? What's the difference between Noam and Sinna, Khair? Which one?
The first one is drowsiness.
What is drowsiness?
Just feel like very sleepy, you can still fight it.
You can fight it off, right? And Noam is the one that overtakes you, right? Sorry. So la ta'khudhuhu sinatun wa la nawm. What's next? Lahu ma fis samawati wa ma fil ard. What does that mean? Who's him? Can we say she?
No.
Why not? No, it's not that. Allah is neither male or female, but Allah describes himself in the masculine pronoun or masculine noun in the Arabic language, which is a noun of power and might, right? But we don't ascribe a sex to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay? Nah. Lahu ma fis samawati wa ma fil ard. What does that mean? Everything in the heavens and the earth belongs to Allah, including you and me, right? If I belong to Allah, what does that mean if I belong to Allah? No, what does that mean? Think about what it means that something belongs to you. What do you do with things that's yours? Whatever you want, right? It's yours. If I decided to crash my car into the wall right now, right? May Allah forbid. Who can tell me not to do it? Unless the wall I crashed it into belongs to somebody else. But can you be mad I crashed my car into the wall? It's my car. Do what I want with it, right? Yes. Can you be mad if I decide to take my sneakers off right now and throw them out the window? No. We belong to Allah. So whatever Allah wants to do with us, He does it. What's our job? Submit to it. Right? Comes back to knowing Allah, right? Because we say, what about Allah? Allah says in a famous dua, if you don't know this dua, I recommend that you learn it. If you don't know this dua, I recommend that you learn it. All of you should know it perhaps. The dua is Allahumma inni abduka ibni abdika ibni amatik nasiyati biyadik madin fiya hukmuk adlun fiya qada'uk as'aluka bi kulli ismin huwa laka sammaytahu bi nafsik سميته بنفسك أو أنزلته في كتابك أو علمته أحدا من خلقك أو استأثرت به في علم الغيب عندك أن تجعل القرآن ربيع قلبي ونور صدري وجلاء حزني وذهاب همي. Anybody know what this dua is for? Anybody know this dua? It's a dua that all of us should know. You know why? This dua is a dua for what they call ham. The dua removes grief, stress, depression, right? People get depressed. So many people we hear are depressed. And they want to take pills or they want to take medicine. But the Prophet ﷺ told us 1400 years ago what to utilize if we become depressed. What does depression come from, Asma? Psychologically, what do people say depression comes from? There's three things that can either come. Grief or depression, right? Grief happens when you what? Worry too much about what happened yesterday. Oh, yesterday I bumped my head and people laughed at me. They laughed at me so much yesterday. Can't change what happened yesterday, right? It happened, get over it. Reality. Or stress, right? Is that you worry about what's going to happen tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow if I don't get a new car. Can't do anything about tomorrow. Oh, am I going to pass my test tomorrow? Well, study today and maybe you'll pass tomorrow, right? So anyway, the Prophet ﷺ taught us this dua, that we should say, oh Allah, I am your servant, right? Not only am I your servant, but I'm the son of your male servant. Not only that, I'm the son of your woman servant. My forehead, forelock, this area, right? Nasiyati biyadik is in your hand. Ma'adin fiya hukmuk. Whatever you decreed is going to happen. It's already come to pass. Ma'adin. It's in the past already. Your decree, what you said is going to happen, your judgment already happened. Ma'adin fiya hukmuk, adlun fiya qada'uk. And whatever you decreed and judge is just. Right? Think about just that part so far, right? Imagine if you said that and believed it. Would you be worried about what happened? Think about it, right? If you said that and believed that you belong to Allah, your mother and father belongs to Allah, that Allah controls you without any doubt, that whatever Allah wants to happen, it's already happened, you can't change it. And that whatever Allah decreed is just. How can you be stressed after that? If you really believe that about Allah, you'll be like, yo, Kuna Matata. You know what Kuna Matata means? Anybody know? You don't know what Hakuna Matata means? What does it mean? Everybody here speaks Swahili now, right?
I don't know.
It means no worries, right? Do you get what I'm saying? You will have that, is that right? Abdul Fattah? SubhanAllah. So the Muslim really in reality should have no worries. That's our motto, Hakuna Matata. Right? So if you understand that, right? Seriously though, what are you going to worry about? Sabreen, what are you going to worry about? Maybe your phone won't come back, right? You won't worry about your phone coming back because you already know that whatever Allah decreed for you is going to be just, right? If it comes back or it doesn't come back, adlun fi qada'uk, right? Then we say after that, right? Allahumma inni as'aluka bi kulli ismin huwa laka sammaytan. We ask you by every name you named yourself by. Remember we talked about in the khutbah, and we've been talking about recently about knowing Allah's names, right? Knowing Allah's characteristics. We ask you, oh Allah, by every one of your names. What is this called if we ask Allah by His names? Anybody know what that's called? Asking Allah by His names and attributes. What is that called? Huh? What's it called? We went over this before when we explained Jamzuri, Tufat al-Atfal. You guys don't never review your notes, I don't think. It's called Tawassul. That when you're seeking to utilize the names of Allah to bring an answer to your dua, that's a very important way, a very strong method to use to get your dua to be accepted. You want your dua to be accepted? Call Allah by the name of what you're trying to do. That's similar to that's suitable for what you're trying to do. Maybe somebody is being mean to you. You say, oh Allah, Ya Rahman, have mercy on me. Get this person away from me, right? You're afraid that maybe somebody won't be just. You call out, Ya Adil. Bring justice to my life, right? You need some strength. You need some backup. Maybe somebody's bullying you. Ya Aziz. Ya Nasir. Right? Support me. So, and that brings the help of Allah. That brings the answer to your dua. Then Allah Ta'ala, the Prophet ﷺ, he said, or anzaltu fi kitabin, or any name that you sit down in a book, or alamtahu ahadan min khalqik, or you taught any of your people, meaning that the first one is in the book, the Quran, the second one is in the Sunnah. You taught a prophet, right, or a messenger. And then or you kept with yourself in the knowledge of the unseen. And this lets us know that Allah's names are, how many names does Allah have? Who knows? Huh? What did you say? We can't count the names of Allah. We don't know them all. The hadith that mentions that Allah has 99 isman wahidan illa miyatan illa wahidan. It means that Allah has 99 names, but it doesn't mean that He only has 99 names. Do you understand? Tayyib. So anyway, this dua continues, says, Allahumma, after this you say, Allahumma taj'al al-Qur'an rabi'a qalbi. Oh Allah, make the Qur'an, the rabi'a. You know, anybody know what this word rabi'a means? Rabi'a, what's the word rabi'a mean? Spring, right? What does a spring do? Water comes through, and what is water? Water is life. Make the Qur'an the spring of my heart. Well, jala'a husni, and the jala'a means like, if you say like, what's this ayah that Surah Hashr? I can't remember. Anyway, right? Well, jala'a husni, it means to expel. Make it a reason to expel the huzn, the grief from my heart. Make the Quran kick it out. If the Quran's in my heart, make it kick out whatever's there of grief. Do you understand? That's what jalaa means. Like, because jalaa is this thing when you what's it called when you make somebody get out of a certain place, like when you can't stay in that land anymore. Exile. Yes, thank you. When you get exiled, right? When you get exiled, what does it mean? You can't stay there anymore. Make the Quran a reason that grief gets exiled from my heart. And a reason to make all types of worries go away from me. It's a powerful dua, right? So maybe, inshallah, next week everyone will have it memorized. Because everyone has some grief every now and then, right? You get stressed out, Hamdi? Right? Abdurrahman don't do what you ask, he's stressing you out. Yeah, I understand. Brothers stress sisters out, sisters, but sisters definitely stress brothers out too. Right? It definitely goes both ways. So, now try to memorize it, inshallah, and understand it. Again, we want to focus on understanding. So that when you say these dua, all your problems go away. Whew, I don't care about nothing anymore. So anyway, what was the purpose of me mentioning this? Is that if we understand things like this, we understand we belong to Allah. Allah's going to do what He wants with us. And once you understand that, you don't worry. Hakuna Matata. It's a really nice word, actually. And I like it. I might put it on my car, Hakuna Matata. Anyway, right? Tayyib. What's next after Lahu ma fi samawati wa ma fil ard? Muhammad Khadar. You know my father's name was Khadar Muhammad. So you like the reverse. No, wait. I'm Khadar Muhammad. My father's name was Muhammad Khadar. It's the same name as my father, actually. What's the next ayat? What's the next line? Man dalladhi yashfa'u indahu illa bi'idhnihi. What's this mean? Somebody tell me. Men here means la. No one can intercede with Allah except with His permission. Somebody give me an example of intercession. What is shafa'ah? Somebody tell me, what is shafa'ah? Oh, go ahead, somebody. What's shafa'ah? Go ahead, bismillah. You send someone or ask somebody who you think has a better relationship with the one that you need something from to get what you need, right? You made a lot of shafa'ah this week, right, somebody? You sent a lot of people, person after person. You didn't know who was going to work with, right? You go next. You too. And you. Oh, you guys just made shafa'ah for her? That's very nice. Actually, honestly speaking, shafa'ah is one of the right. If you have the ability to, the Muslim should always try to make shafa'ah for the other Muslim. If you know you have the ability to help fulfill the need of your brother or sister, we should run to do that. That's one of the right. That's something that we should do and be. The Prophet ﷺ said, "Wallahu fi aun al-abd ma kana al-abd fi aun akhi." That Allah will help the servant as long as the servant is always helping the other one, helping his brother. So we should always try to help each other. Okay. Tell you. So no one can make intercession with Allah except if Allah wills. Keep going. What's the next ayat? Ruwaida. Do you know the next part? Good. Okay. What's your name? Munira, what's the next part? You don't know Ayatul Kursi? Oh, okay. You don't know Ayatul Kursi? So what's the next part? You weren't paying attention? يَعْلَمُ مَا بَيْنَ أَيْدِيهِمْ وَمَا خَلْفَهُمْ. Allah knows what is before you or what happened before in the dunya and knows what's going to happen in the akhirah. Right? What's after that? يَعْلَمُ مَا بَيْنَ أَيْدِيهِمْ وَمَا خَلْفَهُم وَلَا يُحِيطُونَ بِشَيْءٍ مِنْ عِلْمِهِ إِلَّا بِمَا شَاءَ. And nobody can understand or comprehend the knowledge of Allah or gain the knowledge of Allah except with what? Except what He wants or what He wills. What's next? وَسِعَ كُرْسِيُّهُ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. His kursi. The kursi is what? The footstool that we say, right? It's in front. Whatever the kursi is in reality, we don't really truly know, right? It's from the ilm of the ghaib. And from us, from one of the most important things that we learn as believers is what? We believe in the unseen, right? Who here believes there's angels here? Alhamdulillah. Here goes a better question. Who here believes there might be some jinn? Inshallah, there's no jinn here, right? Why? Because inshallah, when the angels come, the jinns leave. They don't like to be where the angels come around. So if you don't like jinn, how do you keep them away? Do the things that bring the angels, right? Don't play music if you don't want jinn around. You say, oh, I'm afraid of the jinn. I don't like jinn, but you got Biggie Smalls on. You partying with the jinn. That's past you guys' time, right? You don't even know. Good, mashallah. Now, I know, of course, you don't listen to music, Hamdi. So, anyway, right? The jinn gonna come around when you start playing your Somali love songs, right? That counts too, right? If you're like, woo, 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 whatever, you know. The jinn say, oh, party over here. And here comes the jinn. And he say, I'm afraid of you, I don't want jinn around. Big stinky jinn too, right? The jinn come around with these type of things. If you don't want jinn around, do dhikr of Allah. Play Quran. The angels will come to listen. Read Quran. And the jinn will leave. They don't want to be around where the angels come. Okay? Tayyib. Thank you. The kursi, so what I was talking about was that we believe in the unseen. But one of the things we believe about the unseen is we don't really know what is there. Right? Except what Allah tells us. What we know about the kursi is that it's in front of the arsh. That's what we know about the kursi. It's in front of the arsh. What we know about the kursi is that the Prophet ﷺ said that the kursi compared to the arsh is like a ring thrown into a desert. That's how big it is compared to it, right? And we know that the kursi is what? The size of the heavens and the earth. So subhanAllah, how big is the arsh of Allah? Right? How big is the arsh of Allah? So make your heart tremble. Whoa, subhanAllah, that's huge. How does your heart feel when you see a huge building, right? You see a skyscraper, you say, whoa, look at that pretty building. And it's nothing compared to the kursi of Allah. And then it's definitely nothing compared to the arsh of Allah. Your heart should be exploding like, well, I can't even imagine, I hope maybe I can see it. Right? What's after that? وَسِعَ كُرْسِيُّهُ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضَ وَلَا Allah does not tire out at all from preserving the heavens and the earth. It's not, Allah doesn't need a break. He's not fatigued. He's like, no, none of that. Allah has no fatigue at all. Tired out, needs a break, nothing of the sort. What's after that? وَهُوَ الْعَلِيُّ الْعَظِيمُ. What does Ali mean? Most high, right? Above everything. What does Azim mean? Greater than everything. Pay attention to that. When you start your salat, why is it a benefit? What is the blessing of starting your salat saying Allahu Akbar? Somebody tell me a benefit from that. Come on, give me a benefit of saying Allahu Akbar. You skipped my class yesterday, went during late. How was it? It was fun? Did you enjoy yourself? Did you get on a lot of rides? MashaAllah. You get on the Superman? You were afraid? Why didn't you? You skip my class, but you didn't get on the Superman? You didn't have time, you should have went on. What about you? You went on the Superman? You didn't get on no rides, you were scared. You went on the little horsey ride with the kids. Sabrina was here yesterday, wasn't she? You went yesterday too? You were at home? Sabrina, you back to your old ways? Okay. Toya, did you get on the Superman ride? You did? MashaAllah. Were you scared? I would never get on. You guys are crazy. You guys are crazy. I'm not getting on. I don't trust. One of my shuyukh, hey, listen, I'll tell you something, right? I am. One of my shuyukh, he told me like this, right? We were having a conference, and we wanted him to come, right? He said, I'll come, but I have to drive. He said, Sheikh, no, we'll pay for you to take the plane. Take the plane and come. I don't trust the kuffar. He said, I don't trust anything they made right? I'm not getting on a plane, trusting my life to some kafirs, unless it's an absolute necessity. I said, Sheikh, the plane is good. Right? Well, I didn't say no. Somebody else told him, Sheikh, the plane is good. Don't worry. I said, no, I'm not getting on the plane. Don't trust them. I feel the same way. I don't trust them in their machine that they made to have fun and ride on. Here goes my problem with the rides, right? Honestly speaking. I don't mind dying on a plane, the plane drive, I'm trying to go do something beneficial. What can I say on Yom Qiyamah if I died because the machine fell? That was just riding a ride? That's not warrior-like. I can't, who can tell my children and make a story, make a movie about my life, right? And they say, oh, I was a warrior. They say, well, how did the warrior die? He died at the amusement park on the Superman ride. That's not really warrior type of way to go out, right? What would you say at the end of that story? Like, yo, that's the end of the story? That's not warrior-like at all, right? So I choose to fight my own battles, fight when I can fight. I can't fight the Superman ride. I'm not getting on it. So anyway, right? Somebody tell me, what is the benefit of saying Allahu Akbar before we start Salah? What's the benefit of it? Tell me. Nobody knows? Think about it. Problem is you don't do it. Before you start Salah, what should you do? What should you have in your heart? Niyyah, number one, right? Another thing that you should do before the Salah is you should imagine the izm of Allah. You should imagine and bring to your mind the greatness of Allah. Because you're getting ready to stand in front of Allah. You're getting ready to talk to Allah. So at that moment in time, all of your energy and thought should be going into what? Whoa, I'm about to talk to Allah. Let me get myself together. I can't. This is like scary. This is all, nerve-wracking. I'm about to talk to Allah. I'm about to stand in front of Allah. And then you say what? You say Allahu Akbar. Allah is greater than anything else that could be happening right now. I'm thinking about Allah more, and Allah has more importance and is greater than any problem I have right now. Anything I'm worried about, did I go to school, did I get the groceries, my phone bill get paid? None of that matters. Allahu Akbar. Allah is greater than that. Think about it when you pray. How does it affect on your salah? It changes the way that you pray. Your prayer doesn't just become, something else. Anyway, that's Aayaat, of course. Just a review. Now we go into skipping the next ayat. We go into the ayat that we're on for today. What time is it? Who knows?
2:30.
Tell you. So we go into the ayat, or Allah Ta'ala, He says what? After Allah introduced Himself to us, after Allah says, لا إكراه في الدين قد تبين الرشد من الغي فمن يكفر بالطاغوت ويؤمن بالله فقد استمسك بالعروة الوثقى لا انفصام لها. Allah says what? Allahu waliyyu alladhina amanu. Pay attention to how beautiful this is if you really pay attention to the siyaq, the way that the ayats come. Allah says then what? Allahu waliyyu alladhina amanu. يخرجهم من الظلمات إلى النور. I just told you, right, Abdurrahman, that my cousin that's coming to school with you, right, he's going to go to your school. He's the toughest guy. He's like 5th degree black belt. He won every fight he ever had. He's like 500 pounds, all muscle, no fat, ready to get busy. He's going to come be your best friend. What would you say? Oh, it's on this year. We're lit, right? Who's going to mess with me this year? Right? I'm good. I remember that boy from last year, Raekwon, that was bothering me. I'm going to get him as soon as I find him this year. Right? You got a plan already. I'm going to do this. Oh, yeah. And then that person took my lunch money. I'm going to do this. And even my teacher that was talking mean to me, she won't talk mean to me this year. Right? So now think about Allah is telling you. After He tells you about Himself, He says, Allahu waliyyu alladhina amanu. Allah that He just told you about, the Allah that we just described, right, is the friend and protector of the believers. That's amazing. Right? Allahu waliyyu alladhina amanu. Allah says, listen, I just told you about me. I own the heavens and the earth. I'm never tired. I'm this, and I'm that. Guess what? I'll be the friend and protector of the believers. What should I make you want to do? Be a believer. That's the winning team. Is that not the winning team? That Allah got you if you're a believer. Allah has your back, will support you, will aid you, will protect you. Then if you're a believer, what comes next to your mind? I'll tell you my mind. You tell me yours first. What comes to your mind if you say Allah will protect you, Allah has your back, Allah will lead you ladina amanu? What comes to your mind? Think about it. Remember who Allah is, and Allah says that if you're a believer, He got you. Quick question, how do you be a believer? How do you be a believer? Belief is what? What is Iman? What? Somebody. Belief in the heart, actions of the limb, speech of the tongue, goes up with Iman, goes up with what? Obedience to Ar-Rahman, and goes down with obedience to Shaitan. So what are we talking about? To be a believer, you got to have some actions. You got to put in some work. You can't just be a believer and just say, I'm a believer, look at me, I'm doing nothing, I'm a loser, but I'm a believer. No, you got to put in some work. So what's my point? Allah says He's with the believers. What should that make you do if you feel you want to be a believer? You want to be a believer? What should I do now? You guys don't have no himma. You know what himma is? Allah Ta'ala, the Prophet said, Inna Allah yuhibbul ma'ali al-umur. Allah loves a person to have high aspirations, to want to do the big things. So if Allah says He has your back, if you're a believer, and He just described Himself to you, again, I just gave Abdurrahman the example. If the biggest, toughest person came to be your best friend at school, what would it make you want to do? You'll act differently, right? You won't walk scared, or not to say Abdurrahman walks, but you won't walk scared. You walk around like, yo, and you're like 3 feet tall, but you're talking big stuff because who's with you, right? You got, man, mashallah, people like, yo, when you start talking tough like that, and they look and say, oh, okay, mashallah, oh, man, we love you. Here, take $5, $10. If Allah says He has your back, me personally, I think I could conquer the world. Yeah. I mean, that's just my thought. If I believe in Allah, right? I believe in Allah. If I think that inshallah, Allah will, I can increase my iman to where Allah will really support me like that, who can stop me? Who can stop you? Right? I mean, seriously, did we not just explain who Allah is? Do you know Allah? Allah owns everything. Allah protects and preserves everything. Never sleep, never get drowsy, always paying attention. Why should I ever feel weak? Why should I ever feel defeated if I'm a believer? Right? Allah says what? That if you're a believer in kuntum, Allah says, that you are uppermost always if you're a believer. That's what Allah says. Do we really believe the Quran we memorize and read? Allah says that you will always be on top, right? If you are a believer. Of course. Why would it not be when Allah said He's got your back? Why would I ever be afraid to do anything? How would I ever feel like I can't do it? Anybody ever feel like, yo, that's just too, I can't do it, man, not me. Some of you say, I can't memorize. I can't do that. I can't. No, how can you feel like that when you say you believe in Allah? And Allah said He has the back of the believers. No way possible that you should feel like you're too weak, or I can't do it. No. Or you should feel like you can't change the world for the better. I'm nobody. Who am I? I'm a believer, right? Somebody said, but it's just me. Wasn't it just the Prophet ﷺ, his wife, and his cousin? That was the whole squad at one time. Now, look at us. Muslims from all over the world. Billion Muslims. It started out with one man, 40 years old, a woman. How old was Khadijah when the Prophet ﷺ became a prophet? Anybody know? 65, right? And young Ali. Abu Bakr wasn't even there yet. Then Abu Bakr came. Right? SubhanAllah, think about this, right? The Prophet says, some of the companions, Abu Dhar al-Ghifari, rahimahullah, I believe it was Abu Dhar al-Ghifari. Don't quote me on that name. But I believe it was Abu Dhar al-Ghifari. He said, I remember there was only a few of us, right? Believers. And we used to be eating trees, leaves off of trees to survive. and the Prophet ﷺ was telling us we was going to conquer the world, and we believed it. Look what the situation they was in. Was their situation like ours? Way worse than ours. But their iman was way stronger than ours. We got billion Muslims on the earth. If we wake up, that's a lot of people, right? If we wake up, that's a lot of people. SubhanAllah, forget that. Right here in this class, how many people is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, right? 18. Count all the way to 2. 18 people, right? SubhanAllah, 18 people. We're what? Almost double what the Prophet ﷺ started out with. We don't have no excuse. We're good. We got a whole team. So why we can't win? What are we afraid of? The Prophet ﷺ went against his whole community. Everything was established to try to work against him. It wasn't a bunch of Muslims. They were tortured, tormented, but they held firm to their deen. Why we can't? What's holding us back? Unless we really don't believe. That makes sense? We got to strengthen our belief. Because we'll win. Wallahi, there's a promise from Allah that if we believe, we'll win. Sometimes I think we're afraid to believe because we're afraid to win. We're afraid to actually make those moves and win. Because the promise is there. We just got to do it. So anyway, Allah says what? Allah says that He is the friend, protector, ally of those who believe, and He brings them out of darkness into the light. Keep the lights on. You guys like to be in the dark. That's why I always keep the lights on, right? Allah brought us out of dark and brought us to the light. Then Allah says on the opposite side, وَالَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا أَوْلِيَاؤُهُمُ الطَّاغُوتُ. And those who disbelieve, their friends, their protectors are what? The Taghut. What is Taghut? Anybody know? Taghut from the head of the Shaitan. So their friend protector is the Shaitan. As well, so when I ask you who's the Taghut? The head of the Tawaghit is Shaitan. He's the number one primary Taghut, Shaitan. Does that make sense? Who is the Taghut? Number one, right? Then as well, there's other Tawaghit besides the Shaitan. From amongst them, anyone who is worshipped and is pleased with it. Man, that he's worshipped, people worship them, love them so much that they obey them and disobey Allah. And he's happy with, oh yes, look at me. No. Taghut. Anyone who makes laws besides that which Allah has revealed, Taghut. Okay? From amongst that. So, the kafirs, that's their friends and protectors, right? And Allah says, يُخْرِجُونَهُم مِّنَ النُّورِ إِلَى الظُّلُمَاتِ. Allah says, it takes them out of the light to the fire. To the darkness. Now, some of the scholars that say about this ayah, that it was revealed in regards to the people who believed in Isa, right? There were some people who believed in Isa, alayhi salatu wasalam. But when Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam came, they disbelieved. They didn't believe in Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So the Taghut that they were following took them out of the light that they were in of belief in Isa. And when Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam came, they refused to obey, so they went to darkness. That makes sense? Yes, no? We're on the same page? Tell you. Then there was another group of people who disbelieved in Isa, right? They didn't believe in Isa, so they were in darkness. But when Muhammad came, they believed. So they came out to the light. Do you understand that? So Allah says after that, أُولَٰئِكَ أَصْحَابُ النَّارِ هُمْ فِيهَا خَالِدُونَ. That they are the people of the fire. أُولَٰئِكَ أَصْحَابُ النَّارِ هُمْ فِيهَا خَالِدُونَ. They'll stay there forever, never coming out. The people who commit shirk will enter the fire and never ever come out. The people who have tawheed but have some sins, may Allah protect us from being of that group as well. They'll enter the fire, but they will come out eventually. But the people who commit shirk, and that's why it's so important we understand and know what shirk is, right? So that we don't fall into shirk, right? And then end up staying in the fire forever. May Allah protect us. Abdul Rahman, tell me about this ayah. Who was the first group of people in the ayah that we talked about? Who were they? They were people who what? But why were they in darkness? Just because they were in a cave? What happened? Somebody help them. Why were they in darkness? And what? Who did they disbelieve in? They disbelieved in Isa. But when Muhammad ﷺ came, they believed in him and came to the light. What about the other group? They believed in Isa. When Muhammad ﷺ came, they disbelieved. So they went to the darkness. You understand how that happens? Tell you. Now, Allah, remember we've been going and showing how the Quran comes in order, how it makes a context. The sequence of the Quran is applicable and it has a benefit if we understand why this ayah comes after this ayah, right? The next ayah that comes is what? Alam tara ila alladhi hajja Ibrahim. Well, how long is that med? Why some of you don't make the med, right? If you know it. Why is that med 6 harakat? Somebody tell me. What is that med called? What is that med called? What? Med lazim what? MashaAllah, let's go. Where's the people? They don't review. Why the tulab don't review? The tulab say they want to be tulab al-ilm, but they don't review. Right? What is that? Why? What is it? Med lazim what? Med lazim what? Huh? Because I reviewed and you didn't review, should I help you? Med lazim al-kilmi al-muthaqqal. Right? Med lazim al-kilmi al-muthaqqal. It's med lazim. Why? There's a med letter right after it, followed it's a sukoon. It is kilmi because it's inside of a word. It's muthaqqal because it has what? Shadda. Right? 6 harakat, lazim, can't go away from it doing it, right? Is that right? Am I wrong? Did I make a mistake? Is that correct? How will you know what's correct if you don't remember? I might have just said anything and you would agree. Yeah, that's right. Mom said it. What's this? Right? Does anybody remember the line of poetry that goes with it? Oh, you guys don't remember Tafseer? You forgot it like that? SubhanAllah, may Allah make it easy for you all. You need to review that stuff, man. You can't let that stuff just go away. You guys put in a lot of work to do it, right? We took a long time working on it. Don't just let it go away and say, I did it, but you don't remember. You can't benefit from it. If you can't benefit from it and recall it, then there's a problem, right? Review it, inshallah. Tayyib. Anyway, med lazim killing muthaqqal 6 harakat, right? Tayyib. Alam tara ila alladhi hajja Ibrahim fi rabbihi an ataahu Allahu al-mulk, right? Question. Allah says here, do you see? Have you thought about Alam tara ila alladhi, the one who hajja Ibrahim, argued, debated with Ibrahim. Why? And ataahu Allahu al-mulk. Allah gave him a dominion. Allah gave, it's not from himself. Allah gave him dominion. Who was this person that Ibrahim was debating with? Anybody know? Who was it? What's his name? Namrud, right? Or in English, it's Nimrod, right? There were 4 kings in history. 4 kings in history, as Mujahid bin Jabr, rahimahullah ta'ala, mentioned, that there were 4 kings in history that ruled the east and the west, the whole earth. Does anybody know who they are? 2 of them were Muslim, 2 of them were Kafir. 2 of them were Muslim, 2 of them were Kafir. Who are they? Come on, put your thinking caps on. 2 of them were Muslim, 2 of them were Kafir. Who? Sulaiman bin Dawood, right? How did Dawood become a king? Does anybody know? Huh? He killed Jalut, and what else? It's a slip of the tongue. He married the king's daughter, right? He married the prophet's daughter, actually. He married the king's daughter, excuse me. So, how did he end up marrying the king's daughter? He just, once he killed Jalut, he said, yo, king, I'm going to marry your daughter too. I'm the man now. The king offered whoever wins that, whoever kills Jalut, that he would marry their daughter and give him half of his wealth, right? So that's how he became King Dawood. And Dawood, of course, had his son Suleiman. Tell you. So Suleiman ruled the whole world, right? Who else? Who was another Muslim king that ruled the whole world? Who said it? Who said it first? You? Dhul Qarnayn. Jazakumullah khairan. Dhul Qarnayn ruled the whole world. Muslim king, right? Who were the two non-Muslim kings that ruled the whole world? No. If Fir'aun ruled the whole world, remember when they crossed the ocean, they escaped with other people there, right? We already told you one, Nimrod, right? And the other one's name was Nebuchadnezzar. You might have heard him in a history book, right? Nebuchadnezzar, Bikhtansar, something like this called in Arabic. Nebuchadnezzar. Right? Ruled the whole world. So, this first king, Nimrod, was the king who was the one who tried to throw Ibrahim ﷺ into the fire. Right? So how it's mentioned, Allah knows best, it's mentioned, there's a difference of opinion about when this debate happened. Some of the scholars, they say it happened when Ibrahim broke the idols, right? When Ibrahim broke the idols, they say that Ibrahim was thrown into jail. Go to jail, Ibrahim, you broke the idols, man, what are you doing, man? You can't break the idols like that. So they built a huge fire, and when Ibrahim came out of the jail, they brought Ibrahim out of jail, and they said, okay, Ibrahim, let's debate. Why did you break this stuff? Who is it that you worship, Ibrahim? They were going to give him a chance. Ibrahim, just say you worship me. Nah, I worship the creator of the heavens and the earth. All right? Ibrahim's not backing down, alhamdulillah. So they said, okay, but what's the heaven, the creator of the heavens and earth? He said, the Nimrod says, listen, I give life and give death too. Right? How did he try to prove it? How did he try to prove that he gives life and gives death? He killed what?
He killed the slave and then the other one.
MashaAllah, barakallah. Some very strong students of knowledge here, alhamdulillah. He would take two prisoners out of jail, and he would say, okay, I'm going to show you. I give life and give death. He'd kill one and say, you go free. I gave you another life. All right? Really plain, easy, dumb trick. But that was his thing. Look, I killed that one. I took life. So Ibrahim said, okay. All right? Allah is the one who gives Alam tara alladhi haja Ibrahim fi rabbi an atahu Allahu al-mulk id qala Ibrahim rabbi alladhi yuhyi wa yumeet. My Lord is the one who gives life and gives death, right? So the kafir say, you know what, ana uhyi wa umeet. He's like, I'm the one who also gives life and gives death, right? So the Ibrahim, after this, he said, قال إبراهيم فإن الله يأتي بالشمس من المشرق فأتي بها من المغرب فمغرب, right? He said, okay, cool. I'm going to play like that. The Lord is the one who brings the sun every day up from, where does the sun come up from every day? West. If it comes from the west, we're all in trouble. Right? You see it comes from the west, there's nothing else to talk about, brother. No more Tawbah. The world is over. I told you to pray. It might come any time, subhanAllah. We have to be prepared. For when that comes, there's no more Tawbah. You understand how serious that is? You see it coming up, you say, oh Allah, I'm done. I knew I should have stopped listening to that music. Now it's the only time of regrets. Now it's the only time of feeling regretful because you can't change what you did now. I knew I should have stopped doing that. Oh man. Make Tawbah now, wallahi. Ask Allah to forgive you now. Change your ways now so that when that happens, we're hopefully in a decent state. Okay? So anyway, Ibrahim, he made a very good point here. Not only does Allah bring the sun up from the east one time or two times, he does it every day. Without fail. And it doesn't come broken out like late one day. You know, sometimes we're late sometimes. Never late, always on time. You can bet your last, don't bet, but you can whatever and know that the sun is coming up when it's supposed to come up every day. We tell time by the sun. That's how sure we know that the sun is coming up, right? Is anyone here worried about the sun coming up tomorrow? It's not even a thought. You're like, yeah, the sun will be up tomorrow. At what time? You know what time and everything. So Ibrahim brought this as an example. So he said, okay, you God, or you have rububiyyah, you have lordship, right? Because remember, this shows us what the Lord is. The Lord is the one who takes care of everything. Gives life, gives death, manages the affairs of the creation. Look at that, bringing the sun up every day. We don't even think about it because it's not our job. Allah is going to do it, and we just know Allah is going to do it, right? It's part of knowing Allah. But sometimes we have to slow down and think about the things we know about Allah, right? I know for certain Allah is going to bring that sun up, and I need it to come up anyway, right? We're certain about that. So he said, "Fati bihamin al-maghrib." So bring the sun from the west, if you really all that. So then it says, فَبُهِتَ الَّذِي كَفَرَ. That kafir, that disbeliever, was silenced. He had no other argument. Couldn't think of nothing to say. He became humiliated, confused. He was defeated. فَبُهِتَ. And if you notice here, Allah is very meticulous. Of course, Allah is al-Latif. And Allah is very meticulous and subtle in His words. He didn't say, فَبُهِتَ الَّذِي حَاجَ. He didn't say the one that was arguing, but He made it clear that was a kafir that he was arguing with. Right? فَبُهِتَ الَّذِي كَفَرَ. Then Allah Ta'ala, He says, وَاللَّهُ لَا يَهْدِي الْقَوْمَ الظَّالِمِينَ. Allah will never guide an oppressive people. People who are oppressive will never win in reality. Allah won't guide them to follow the truth. If you're a zalim, oppressive, taking people's rights, not giving Allah His rights, Allah won't guide you. Leave you astray. Let you die in that way. Allah won't guide this type of person. This person will end up in the fire. May Allah protect us from being zalim. We don't want to be a zalim, right? This ayat says, can somebody figure out what this ayat has to do with the ayat that came before? Who's thinking cap is on today? Munira, you're very quiet in the back. You tell us the answer. What did Allah... Are you here? Where are you? You left? You back? Okay, alhamdulillah. What ayat are we on? Huh? I can't hear you. You don't know the ayat we're on? Show me the ayat. Come here, show me the ayat you're on. Just point to it. Come point it to me. One of you probably helped her. Who helped you? Be honest. Be honest. Who said it? You just knew it? Because you were pointing on this side of the page, then you came back to this side of the page. So I don't know. Okay, tight. So what does this ayah have to do with the ayah that came before it? Anybody know? Think. What does this ayah have to do with the ayah that came before it? Right. The ayah has to do with the ayah that came before it, when Allah is giving you a live example of how He helps the believer defeat the kafir. That make sense? That the believer, his helper, his ally is Allah. So he's going to be successful in the debate. But the kafir, who was Nimrod, his ally is a Taghut, Shaitan. So he became overcome. He was defeated because Allah helped Ibrahim and Nimrod had no one that could help him against Allah. Does that make sense? No? Okay. The ayah that came before, we said, Allahu waliyyu ladina amanu. Allah is the friend and protector of the believers. And that the kuffar, they only have the shaitan and those like him to be their friend and helper and protector. So Allah showed us a live example right after of how Allah supports those who believe in Him. Does that make sense? What time is it? 3:04? Tired. We'll stop now because I got to hear some Quran. Inshallah. Can you stop this thing? Any questions in regards to that? Questions, comments, concerns, corrections, mistakes? Everything good? Two ayahs. What do you mean? Next Sunday we cover what?
Next Sunday when we come up, we have to read these two and explain to you what it is.
MashaAllah. Abu Khair comes with good ideas, MashaAllah. Yes, that is true. Yes, I agree. Next Sunday, you come and explain the 2 ayahs that we just did today. No, everyone, that's very... No, actually, it makes sense. Why do it if we can't explain it after next week? You don't have to explain it as in depth as I did, but you should be able to tell some benefits from it. Right? You don't have to, I'm not expecting you to do a full tafseer of it, but you should be able to tell me the gist of what happened in that. Tell me either some of the story. Tell me the benefits that came from those ayat, right? How can we change our lives by it? Actually, matter of fact, somebody tell me what you benefited from that. Tell me. Munira, what did you benefit from these 2 ayat? 3 ayat that we did actually, right? Okay, 2 ayat that we did. Somebody, Munira, tell me what did you benefit? Allah will always protect the believer. Very good, I accept. Zubair, tell me something you benefited. The people were what? I can't hear you. The people, you gotta move your hands from your mouth and talk clear. You're a young man, you gotta learn to enunciate your words, right? One day you might be president. So if you become president, right, at least we don't want you just giving a speech and saying, They can say, who was your teacher? They would talk bad about me, right? Talk clear, open your mouth. They won't be Muslim? I think you said the people who Allah let go astray, they will never be Muslim? Is that what you said? Huh? Yeah, if they're astray, then they're not Muslim. Doesn't mean they will never be Muslim though. Allah guides who He wants. You don't know who's going to be guided to Islam. But if they die on that, then we don't know who's going to be guided to Islam. What did you benefit? Go ahead.
If you're oppressive, you'll never Allah.
If you're oppressive, what is oppressive? What is dhulm? Dhulm is not just oppression. It's the opposite of justice. Dhulm is putting or taking rights that don't belong to you. Not putting things in their proper place is dhulm. You understand? I'm going to tell you guys something one sheikh said. You might not like it. I was debating whether I should mention this ethic. Sheikh Al-Albani, anybody know who Sheikh Al-Albani? Well, it has nothing to do with this, forget it. I'm not going to mention it. Anyway, right? So, what else did you benefit? What did you benefit with? Huh? What did you say? We only take shifa'ah from Allah? Tayyib. We truly believe Allah will never let us become defeated. But believe in all of them, right? Yes. We believe in all the prophets and messengers without any exclusion. Tayyib. So next week, everyone's going to bring some benefits and fawaid from these 2 ayats. Very good idea. We should do that every week. You got to be able to review, because the problem is that you guys don't review. If you took notes, a lot of you don't take notes. You just got your Muslim, so now you're going to feel. Remember I told you, qaydul ilm bil kitaba. You're supposed to record your knowledge by writing. I look and see none of the boys have a notebook. Now look how much you need the girls. I try to tell them, oh, mashallah, except Sheikh Abdul Fattah, of course. Besides that, Abdul Fattah don't even help these. No, help them out, inshallah. Help them out, okay? Tayyib, we're stopping there. Subhanaka Allahumma bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Turn this thing off? I don't know. It should be like an